Thank you for your pledge on Patreon. Giggles589.
Hey, yo, Flip.
Yo.
I'm going to put you on some fire, man. They got this new beard wash company. They got the lotion and the everything.
What's their name?
They got a recovery room.
What's the name?
Maestro's Classic.
G-Money's up front.
I'll put you on.
I've been put you on the Maestros,
sure?
man. You forgot the way I brought you? You forgot where I brought you up there?
Oh, man.
You forgot about Ghost?
All right. What's his name?
Ghost, you know again?
He cool, man. Yeah. Ghost is cool, man.
Yo, make sure you get your Maestro's Classic beard care products today at Target, CVS, or go on maestrosclassic.com and use the promo code QueensFlip to get 10% off.
10%, that's it? I thought it was free if you put your...
Are you crazy?
All right, I get it.
Make sure you go there today. Log on, maestroswithas.com. I'm from Queens. G-Money.
Yo.
What's up, man?
What's going on? How you feeling?
A lot's going on here.
Yeah.
A lot's going on.
Flip the script.
Flip the script is moving in directions, man. Let me first of all shout out the good people at InfoMinds. I was on the phone with them today.
Respect.
We did an even trade for
Really?
something. Yeah, we tried. They wanted to interview somebody I had on my show, and then they gave me somebody.
Okay. Sounds
Shout
fair
them
enough.
out. I think that, he said something wild. We was on three-way on the phone. Bino was with me today, and he was just saying that, we got to work together. And I really don't like working together with
Really?
niggas. Yeah, I don't like working together.
We had a conversation about working together yesterday.
Yeah, I really don't like working together. I really don't. Because we work hard, but, when people keep their word and a trade for trade, our next guest, they know about hustling. They know about hustling and grinding and getting to the fucking bag. Facts. Facts. They know about it. So when it goes for that, value for value, trade for trade. This is the world we in.
Look at you. How you growing today? This is.
I didn't really want to do it.
This is wow.
But he kept his word.
Shout out InfoMinds too, man. They do a great job with their videos. I wonder how long they take to put that together, man. They put like a whole production. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty dope.
Nigga told me on the phone like, yo, Flip, y'all put out y'all shit too fast, man.
Yeah. What's going? Yo, we doing like 3, 4, 5 shows a week now. What's up, man?
Yeah, we gotta just stay on top of the game because right now Flip the Script podcast is considered, whatever they consider it as. I don't like to toot our own horn, but it's just a blessing, man, and that's it. We just out here. We want to salute to all the podcasters. You ain't gonna get me in the interview. I'm sorry. I know y'all keep hitting. G Money is down to do interview. It's up to him. I can't speak for him because he gets.
I'm outside, man.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I want to shout out some of the fans. Because
okay.
I'm in the comments a lot now more than before. You know what I'm saying? Who? Me.
You in the comments?
Yeah. I
don't see you in the comments.
I'll be in the comments. Look, man. Shout out to Iraq152. You know what I'm saying? He says salute G Money and quick. Thank you very much. You did it. Again, another classic episode. Much respect. Shout out to Henry4625. FDS on fire. Keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Greenpoint. Yo, Flip G Money. You doing it big. A lot of love out here, man. I got a DM too from Bezo World. They said you and Queens Flip should do a whole episode telling the people about y'all story from beginning to now.
I'm not interested in that.
I know. I figured that.
Yeah.
But I figured I'd throw it out there anyway.
Yeah, I read the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not that verbatim. They were saying that we should do an episode. Somebody else said, I don't know if it's the same person, said that we should do an episode.
I think eventually it needs to happen so that they can hear the whole G Money and Queens Flip story from.
So what the fuck? We gonna interview ourselves, nigga?
So we'll bring a host in, I guess. Then I don't know.
I'm good. But I'm excited for this next interview. It's going to be long.
Yes.
I feel because it's a lot of shit. I gotta get into a lot of things. A lot of things about the book, about the story. I've been listening to the same fucking interview for 3 hours. I listened to it about 3 times. Fell asleep, listened to it in the shower. I took my damn notes. You took your notes. And it's a lot of shit.
A lot of shit.
And I spoke to InfoMinds today. I'm like, yo, listen, man, I don't want to ask no questions that y'all niggas asked. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of shit I want to get into details about.
Facts.
But until then, G Money.
Yo.
Episode motherfucking 115.
Nigga, we made it.
We got a special guest. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I see why. I ain't gonna lie. I see why. Nah, let me not flatter. Harlem Heroin. Miss T is in the building. Round of applause one more time, G Money, please.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
guys.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
What's going on?
You look nice.
Thank you.
I see why, girl.
Did you expect something different from her?
Well,
A little bit?
I don't know.
I kind of did because the story is so far back. I didn't even know what to expect really.
I didn't.
You know, she just looked like a young lady.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure how old she is, but we can't ask a woman her age. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, she was 20 and I don't know how you do it. Is this something you're drinking? I'm confused.
It's probably good genes,
Good
but
genes.
I'm a very well preserved 50-year-old.
I'm supposed for that. Wow.
50.
Yeah.
Jeez. Light don't crack, man. That's what they say, right?
Can I get a? Here we go, please. Here we go. Wow.
It's very nice.
It is 50 years old.
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
No, all jokes aside, like it's a beautiful thing. Having strong genes is
Definitely.
wow.
No stress.
No stress. You cause a lot of stress. You cause a lot of problems. Don't think because I'm giving you compliments, I ain't gonna get at you, Miss T.
Okay. Listen, I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I've been through worse, I guess.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, so you know, like Flip said, we had a long night here tonight. We got a lot of the cover. You know what I'm saying? So let's start with the Miss T story. Let's talk about who you were. You know, growing up in Harlem. Are you born and raised in Harlem? Or?
Yeah.
Talk about when Miss T as a kid growing up.
Grew up on 7th Avenue. My mother, father, sisters. You know, my father's from Jamaica, mother from the South.
Okay.
So grew up around my aunt. Like I say, my aunt, she worked in the bars that was up and down 7th Avenue. You know, I grew up around people like Kim Fields and Al Fan.
Kim Fields, the actress.
Yeah, she lived in our building. So we moved down the
living
block.
living single.
Yep.
Got you.
So we all lived around each other. So, you know, my childhood was pretty good. Strict household.
Okay.
Education was big in my household, you know, via my father.
West Indian parents, they're not playing around.
Yeah, he didn't play. But that ain't stopped me from wanting to do other things.
So how was Harlem at that time for you? Like, how was the Harlem streets? You know, what's going on in Harlem at that time? Take us back to that culture, to that vibe.
It was fun to me, you know, growing up. Like I say, I grew up in 133rd between 7th and 8th, but we had fun. That's all I remember is having fun, you know. Able to go outside. It's different from today.
Right.
You know, you didn't have to worry about your kids going outside. You know, you grew up around the number runners and, you know, it was more community. You know, everybody looked out for each other. So, you know, I just remember it just being fun. Yeah.
So, you weren't a trouble kid. You just want to have fun.
Yeah, I wasn't a bad kid, you know.
What about your siblings?
No, they was.
They're kind of the same vibe.
Yeah, my older sister, she grew up down south, so she didn't really come to New York until she was like 16. But my younger sister, she wasn't born until we moved down the block. You know, we moved right from 7th to 8th Avenue.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I grew up around my cousin, so, you know, yeah.
Have you ever been to Jamaica?
Yes.
Really? When you were younger?
Mm-hmm.
So you met your family out there?
Yeah.
You smiling at me for so much?
What you mean I'm smiling? Just
Smile
smiling
at
all the
G-Money
time.
too, man. Don't smile at me.
What?
You give me signals, bro.
I always smile.
Look, okay, so your father's strict. I mean, you know, because Jamaican
Yeah.
parents are strict. And education is
Yes.
real big. And like
Yes.
G-Money said, we
sure.
know education is big, but with the
Yeah.
Jamaican people from the Caribbean, because of the hardship, you know,
Right. Because he
back in the
didn't
day.
have much of an education, so it was stressed in
Did
my
he,
house.
did he talk to you about Marcus Garvey and stuff like that?
Oh no, absolutely. He had books. No, for real. He had books on Marcus Garvey. He studied what's his name? Haile Selassie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's, wow.
So yeah, my father read Arabic. Like he taught himself
Oh wow,
Arabic.
that's crazy.
He was self-taught. He educated himself. Yeah.
So sorry, G. When did you realize in your heart, at a kid, that you wanted to be? Like, what made when you went outside? What did you see to make you want to be part of the fast life?
I would say watching my aunt who worked in the bars. She was beautiful. She dressed nice. So, okay, I got a little bit of that, the bar scene. And then I guess as I think it was like around 14, 15, like I always loved to dress from her. Like I couldn't fit her pants, but I would wear her blouses with my pants to junior high school.
Right.
So dressing was something that I always wanted, I always loved doing. I would wear just different stuff than the other kids, I guess I would say. And around 14, 15, maybe 16, it's like, okay, the streets, you see people getting money, and you're around certain people. So it's like, okay, I want to get some of that. But I didn't have to. My mother and father took care of me, but I just loved the money early. And I always tell, parents, because it doesn't matter. Some parents see their child go to the left and thinking that they did everything possible,
Right.
like my parents did. But the outside influences, sometimes you just can't stop it. But I always say that whatever you instilled in your kid, they will always remember. They'll go back to it at some point, if they make it. But yeah.
So did you see other females around your age getting fast money or dressing flashy that made you really want to, or it was just you, like you just felt personally you wanted to get into that lifestyle?
Yeah, and me and my little crew, we all grew up, most of us with two parents, and wasn't nobody messed up.
Right.
None of us had to go do what we did or whatever, mess with guys or whatever. Like, we grew up pretty okay.
Right.
We don't have no rags to riches story,
That's different because
Right.
most I guess up here when we ask some questions about the the household is usually one parent or no parents, or
Right.
the dad left, the mom was on drugs or something like that. So you had both parents there,
Both parents.
siblings are there, everyone
My
was
mother
good,
cooked at
educated.
least 5 days a week, so we had food. Everybody came to Miss I house. What Miss I cooked today? So, I made a choice to do what I did. I didn't have to do any of that.
So you saw the fast life in Harlem, and it was so much, I guess, influence in the community that it really sucked you in.
Yeah, and being down on 23rd Street, anybody who know Harlem know 23rd Street and 7th Avenue, 123rd and 7th Avenue. It was just so many, from my memory, it just seemed crowded with people getting money. And I was like, okay, I like this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want to be in this, just being curious and fast and just wanting to be a part of something.
What was the name of your crew? You said My Little Crew. Did you have a name?
Yeah, we had a name. Gutter Girls.
Gutter Girls. How many of y'all was there?
Oh, God. We used to run like 15 deep. Yeah.
Gutter Girls. So you with the Gutter Girls in the strict household. What did your parents do? What was their occupation? Like, what did dad do?
My father ran businesses in Jamaica. It's so crazy because I found out a lot about what my father did after he died. When I had to go back, my father died 2003.
Oh.
So when I went to Jamaica in 2010 for my grandfather's funeral, I was told, like, so many people came around and they knew me, my sister name. It was kind of scary because he was like, who's these men? And I realized that my father meant a lot to a lot of people. So he was like, he had a chicken farm. He was like, I was told, one of the biggest distributors to the hotels and restaurants for chicken. He had a record company. I knew that already. And then he used to send these big barrels down when he was on his way back to Jamaica of jewelry, clothes, food, all kind of stuff. So, he did his little hustling thing down there.
Do you know the part of Jamaica he was from?
Kingston.
Oh.
My grandmother was from Mandeville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where my family's from.
Yeah.
Mandeville. Oh, you know. Okay. So, Gutter Girls, father, and what did mom do?
My mother worked in a nursing home. She was a nurse's aide.
Until you brought the business to her crib. We can get into that later. Yeah. So,
So you young, you seen your aunt work at the bars. About your uncles they was involved too as well, right?
Standing out. Yeah, they were hustling. I started hustling. That's how I got on 123rd Street.
From your uncles?
Yeah. So he was selling dust. So I told him I wanted to sell some dust. I wanted to get some money. So
Wow.
I had my little, like I said, put some dust in my little bag, and I stood on 7th Avenue selling dust, dynamite.
Now, how older were your uncles from to you?
6 years.
6 years. So they didn't
6
have a
or
problem
7
with
years.
you getting in the game. They just
No,
welcomed you right in.
I asked for it. Yes.
Who brothers were they? Your moms?
Actually, they're on my mother's side. They're really my cousins, but since they're a little older, I said they're my uncles.
So Wild Al and Big Stan.
Yeah.
Okay, and tell us the conversation between these two. Who did you talk to first?
Al.
You talked to Al. What did
Yeah.
you say to him?
Because Al was, I would say he probably was more out there first than Stan. And he was like, it was really not much of a conversation. I was like, what you doing? He's like, I got the dust, dynamite. I said, well, let me get some. Gave me some little bundles. And I put in my little Louis Vuitton bag and was on 123rd Street.
What age was you said the age that
I
you were
was
at the
about
time?
16.
16.
Yeah.
And how long did you do that before Al got murdered?
It wasn't long at all, to be honest with you. Yeah, he got killed. He was 19. It's been 33 years since he's been gone. Yeah.
To bring us to that day that he got murdered. Where was he when he got murdered?
He was on Edgecombe, from my understanding, in the spot. And he ran from the spot to somewhere, I don't know, but he ended up making it to Harlem Hospital. I think the ambulance ended up coming to get him because, from my understanding, or they said while they were rolling him in the hospital, he was talking crazy. He was like, yo, get these fucking bullets out my back. You know, just being wild, Al, just being him. But it was shocking to us that he died because of how he was talking and he was still, you know, being him. But I think a bullet went through his chin and ricocheted in his body and hit like some vital organs. Yeah.
How much times was he shot?
I don't know. He could have been shot about 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
But
I believe the one that went in his chin, they said it ricocheted through his body.
So he was in a spot, and somebody obviously you felt a lot of people feel that it was a hit.
Yeah, it was a hit.
Yeah, because the person went in there and went directly at him.
Yeah, it was a hit for sure.
So Al, Wild Al gets his, your cousin, your uncle, he gets hit, and then where does that put you?
Understand? I stuck with him. You know, I stuck real close to him, and me and him got real close, and yeah, just started being around him, hustling. That's when crack came in, 86. So, and it came in like, you know, everybody was. I don't think really people really knew crack came in really before Al died.
Right.
I don't think everybody really knew the effects that crack was going to have, because you, like I said in my book, you know, you have bosses that started smoking. They probably thought it was a quick high, but didn't realize what it was. But we was crack cutting up, and you couldn't even cut and make bottles fast enough because of how people was buying it. They wanted that high over and over again. So yeah, it was so I did that. Cutting up crack for him, collecting money, you know. Then he found somebody else to cut the crack up, so I would just ride around with him all day. I would take money to the spot, pick money up. So yeah.
Now, you know, while Al is gone now, that doesn't put any kind of fear in your heart that, you know, you or your other cousin or uncle could be in danger, or
No, we kind of we knew who did it, because actually the person who did it came to the church, to the funeral.
Oh, wow.
Sat right next to me, and I was like, you know, my aunt know you here, and he crying, and I'm looking like, we know you did it. So I asked my aunt, I'm like, you know he here, like why he here? And she was like, don't worry about it, God will take care of it. So I was like, oh, okay.
But how do y'all know he did it? That's what I'm saying. Because how do y'all know Jacob did it?
I don't remember how we found out, but we heard that he had something to do with it.
What was the reason? That's what's wrong with black people. You know, we hear things and we go with. I heard. Load of luck. What was the premise of why would he do? Was it jealousy? What was the premise?
I wouldn't say. It was said that Al did something very disrespectful to him. Very disrespectful. I found out last year. I can't really say what it was, but I found out last year what it was, and it was humiliating. And if that happened, then I understand.
Got it.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's tough. It's still a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah,
what I mean?
but I understand. Because disrespect is just something that I can't, that's on a whole nother level. You know? Yeah.
So you're working with Stan, and then when does the dating thing start coming in?
I was dating, well, the first dude I dealt with that was hustling in the street, his name was Norm. I was probably maybe 17. Norm was hustling in D.C. He was hustling in Richmond, Virginia. Like I said, I probably was one of the first girls that had like an MCM bag, and that was like 86 or something like that. That was 30-something years ago.
Oh, wow.
He bought me an MCM. He bought me an MCM briefcase. Nice. So yeah, so it was Norm.
So and while you was dating Norm, how long? 'Cause I jumped a little bit. How long was it before Jacob got murdered?
Jacob got murdered in 90, I believe. Al died in 86.
Okay, so it was about 4 years. Okay,
Yeah.
so I can see. So you're dating Norm, and then
Yeah.
he bought you an MCM bag. So what happened with you and Norm?
He was a little older, and Norm was doing him, and I was young.
How old was he?
Back then it seemed like he was so much older, but I think he probably was only like 2 years older than me, maybe 3, 2 or 3 years older than me. But I was, but I was like,
She lied. That nigga was old.
no.
He was in his 20s.
21. 21.
And he seemed so much older, back then, but
Right.
he was doing him. He was hustling. So, he was the first one to break my heart and probably the last one. Because when that happened, I was like, oh, I don't like how this feel. So I kind of was like, okay.
How you broke your heart?
Messing around with other girls.
You caught him
And I was young. Yeah.
Yeah.
with your friend?
No, it wasn't my friend, but I heard that one of my friends was talking to him. You know how that go. Everybody want to come behind you. It happens. But
Still
it's like,
throwing shots, huh?
but they not me.
G, chill. Are you hyping her, G? Chill. G, oh man. So you're bottling up. You're working. You was dealing with Norm, and then after Norm, he messed up. Who was next? Dog.
I would say dog, but Stan, his thing was, you don't need a nigga. I'm giving you money. He bought a cherry red Blazer for me to drive, just so I don't have to drive around with dudes or ask dudes to drive their car. He was cock blocking like crazy, but I still did me. So Dog was somebody who he went to school with, and I met Dog. We had a annual memorial for Al in '87. So Dog came around in like a drop top red BM. So I looked at him, he looked at me, my uncle looked at us, and my uncle was like, don't talk to her. Don't let me catch you talking to her. But of course.
So what was it about these guys, man? Like, is where you attracted to the guys in the fast life, or
I guess so. Back then, it was just something. I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you dating Dog, and then how does that go? Let's go through the Dog phase.
Okay, so me and Dog started talking. Stan didn't know. Yeah. So
Damn, man.
Kev Frost was Dog's partner. Kev Frost is Kirk Frost's younger brother. So they were partners getting a lot of money. Like I've never seen, and Kev at the time was like 15 years old. So one night, they was just wondering where was Dog disappearing at night. And one day they just decided to drive through the block, and they saw his BM in the block and realized he was staying with me at night.
Hold on. Whoops. Let me tell you. So how was he getting in the crib?
What you mean? How was he getting in?
He in the house, but
Yeah.
your parents allowed that?
My mother worked overnight a lot, and my father spent a lot of time in Jamaica.
Hiya.
What the?
I don't know.
Gee, why you said that? Your father spent a lot of time in Jamaica.
Yeah,
Really?
that's why I kind of was probably able to do so much. Yeah.
So they caught Dog. Did they G check him?
Stan tried to, but you know, what can he do if I'm the one that's like, listen, you
So
know.
they had an argument.
I wouldn't say they had an argument, but he was mad.
Did he come upstairs? Did he do anything?
At that time, I think he saw Dog once he was on his block and they had a conversation. But you know, that was kind of short because Dog, he was the first guy I dealt with that had caught a Fed bid. So he ended up going away in '88 for 5 years. Yeah. And you know, me being young, it's like 5 years is like a lifetime when you like 18, you know, like 5 years, you know. Yeah.
So, Dog is done now. So who's next? Unique?
Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all funny.
Unique seem cool. I like Unique, man.
Listen, he is like the life of the party. He's a real cool guy. He ain't with the BS. You know, he's not a trouble starter. He likes to get money and have fun. Like, being around him was, like I said, was a party 24 hours a day. He just liked to have fun.
How did you meet Unique?
In the elevator in my mother building.
Because he was dealing with somebody else in that building, right?
Right.
So you was aware that Unique had a joint, but you just, you know.
No, I didn't know who he was. And we was just happened to be in the elevator. And he was like, his mouth is crazy. He has like no filter. He was like, "You're a pretty black bitch." I was like, "What?" What? He's like, "Nah, I don't mean no disrespect." Like,
you
really?
like that, though?
I was like, he's like, "Nah, I think you pretty." I was like, "Oh, like whatever." So then I kept seeing him and I realized he was going to see a chick. So he was trying to, you know, holler, but I was like, "Nah, I'm not messing with you." So one day I seen him, he said, "Listen, I don't live here no more. I got an apartment around the corner." So we started talking.
And I heard that he started the AOI.
Right, he sure did.
How do y'all know he started that, though?
Nah, he started that.
How y'all know? How you know? We need evidence.
Everybody started
It's on
everything,
record.
right?
He started that.
It's on record he started it?
It's on record. He started that.
I heard it's on record, but I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, he started
That's
that.
legendary.
Dougie No. He got paid for that. Sony paid him for that, if I ain't mistaken.
For that saying?
For that. And I think somebody used it on the show Empire. They had to pay him for that.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
We
It's
gotta
on
get this
record.
Cool Man situated real fast, bro. For somebody snatch it up.
So you're dealing with Unique. He has the AOI. He also owns the what? The Mecca Audio.
He owned a store called Mecca Audio on 151st and 8th Avenue. It was a store and a record, like a studio in the back, and he lived upstairs. He had an apartment upstairs. Yeah.
So what went wrong with Unique?
Unique loved women and women loved him because he had money, he had the cars. You know, again, I was young and he was just doing him, and I understood. So, you know, it was really no hard feelings. You know, we stayed cool, but I just had to, you know, move on.
You know what's strange is that everybody, because there's somebody that you cheated on. And my man, you know, you cheated on with you know, baby father, but we don't get into that. Yeah, you cheated on my man Lou. You know,
No.
but you ain't smashing, but he was getting you money.
Right.
Same shit, cheat. But we ain't get into that yet. So he had girls, and then you just like, I'm not with
He
how-
just, yeah,
How
you
old
know.
were you?
Okay, 87, I was 18.
And then you and Unique is over, and then
Yeah. But we still cool. You know, we was like, hey, yeah,
That's what it is.
I'm still cool with everybody. They
Of course
still
you
cool.
are.
yeah, of course, yeah. Why wouldn't you be? And then you meet who?
Lou in 89.
Yeah, Lou Sims,
Yeah.
the lynch mob.
Right.
How that
Now, that lynch mob business, I didn't see that until it was in the newspaper. So, but yeah, I met Lou again because I knew Lou since I was 6 or 7. He used to run around with my cousin Ronnie Ball. So, I guess he did some time, and we ended up bumping into each other. And we started talking, and then we just started dealing with each other. Why are you rubbing your eyes?
So you started talking. And man, with all due respect, how long do you talk to these guys before you guys get intimate?
See, my thing is this.
Ooh.
I ain't never been one. I mean, I don't see the difference between what guys do and what I was doing because listen, if I've never been one to be crying over nobody, you know. I don't do that. I didn't.
So it was fast. You moved fast.
I mean, if they mess up, I'm gone.
No, I'm talking about.
What's the point?
Before you get intimate.
Oh, probably. Yeah, I
Probably,
did.
yeah.
I moved fast. I moved fast. It is. You know, I snatch him up. That's what I did.
So you meet Lou with your cousin.
Yeah.
Your cousin was official, or you was a...
Him, Lou, and some other guys. I don't know what they used to be doing back in the days. You know, like I said, I was young when Lou was around me. You know, so. Yeah.
Now that bring us with Lou. How was that relationship with Lou? How did you really feel about Lou?
It was real cool. I loved Lou. Yeah, I did. We had a good relationship, but although he spent a lot of time with me, he did have someone else somewhere else. You know, again, I was young and I wasn't really thinking about his girlfriend or whomever. So it's like I really didn't really care because he really did spend a lot of time with me.
So you didn't care if he had a girlfriend?
At that age, I wasn't thinking about that. No.
What would you call that these days?
I mean, these days I wouldn't really deal with nobody who has some. No, I wouldn't.
I'm just saying. What?
What? Call what? What I was doing?
Yeah.
Oh, a thought? I guess that's what they would call. No. But why guys can't be called thoughts?
You're right.
Why guys can't be called thoughts?
Double standard, I guess. You know?
Right.
Don't
It's
get
like,
shit, girl.
why? Just because I did what I did? I mean, I don't listen.
So not, but you with Lou Sims, but he had somebody else, but you rocking with Lou. Y'all going, you know, as long as he saw you,
Yeah.
you was content. You know what I mean? And during this time, is this the time around, like what year is this with Lou Sims?
89.
89. So that's a time as far as like Rich Porter. Like, did you know Rich Porter? Did you know Alpo? Did you know?
I was around Alpo, never really met him formally. I knew Rich because Rich and Norm was cool. So I had met Rich already.
What about AZ?
I knew AZ. Because I knew AZ, I knew Prince because one of my girlfriends used to deal with Prince. I knew Stan. My cousin dealt with Stan. So
What about
yeah.
AZ? How you knew him?
I'm just from up the block, 7th Avenue. You know, you walk around, you get to know everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you with Lou, and then are y'all living together? Like, did you know?
No, I would spend time with him at his grandmother's house, who lived uptown, and he would spend time with me at my house.
Oh yeah, at your house again. 'Cause Mama Love worked late and Daddy
Right.
was in Jamaica.
Right.
Okay. Then bring us to the day where, like, with Lou, you got the call because first of all, before we get into that, you were also cool with Charlie Clip's father, and Charlie Clip's father name is Leon.
He was the boss of the lynch mob.
He was the boss. What was your relationship with Leon?
I love Leon. Leon's like a brother to me. He's my daughter's godfather. Yeah. I still got love for him.
Regardless of
Yep.
understood. Respect.
That's right.
Respect. And what was your relationship? He looked out for you? Like, what was
Yeah.
your relationship with Leon?
Well, I didn't really need him to really look out for me, to be honest with you. He was just there. You know, if I had any issues, any problems with anybody, he was there. You know, I even had a girlfriend that had some issues and took her to him. And, you know, his thing, he was going to look out for her, you know. So he was like that. But, yeah, we were cool. Yeah.
And how heavy was the lynch mob in the streets at that time?
Oh, heavy. Heavy, but a lot of things that was done was very unnecessary, which is probably what was their downfall. You know, some of them were young and doing a lot of unnecessary things because of the name, or because of, not the lynch mob name, but because of Lou's name. I'll say Lou's name because Lou was he was feared, and people probably had every right to be feared. See, he's somebody who I can say he didn't need nobody behind him. He was just a one-man, you know, army or whatever. Like, he didn't fear anything or anyone. He's strong on his own. he's I would call him a real gangster. You know what I mean? You got people that do stuff just because people behind him. Lou, he's different. He's different. I'll say that.
Are you saying this because you messed with him? Are you
No,
being biased?
not at all. No, it's true. It's true.
So Lou was official.
Oh, he's official.
Okay.
It ain't got nothing to do with me messing with him because I'm not going, like, like I said with Unique. Unique is not that type of person. He don't want that.
Gotcha.
He want to get money and just have a good time. Lou different. Like, he's official.
He'll put the pain in if it comes to it.
Oh, absolutely. And he's not just a shooter. He good with his hands.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
You seen him put somebody on their ass before?
Yeah. He don't play.
What happened? You seen him beat somebody up, or you just?
Oh no, he beat somebody up uptown, and I'm not the only one who would say that. Like in Otisville, he was locked up with my god brother, and put the beats on like 10 Puerto Ricans. Oh yeah, he don't play. He do not play. That's just him.
So and you think that they took them down because the lynch mob was doing a lot of stuff here?
Yeah,
Like they was because explain how this works though. So in my mind, how I'm seeing it, from Queens, but the outside looking in, like you hear about the lynch mob, their crew. Then you got AZ, Rich Porter.
Right.
Then you got Fritz, who was supplying a lot of people.
Right.
And then but I don't think he was supplying AZ. AZ had his own connect.
Right.
But how does that work? So it's like, how does so much people, in your opinion, get money like that? Like so much big players, because they would consider Fritz a kingpin, correct?
Right.
What is a kingpin to you? Your definition of one?
I would say he would be the one, whether directly or indirectly. Everybody who probably had work, whether directly or indirectly, it probably came from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, Rich was getting keys but was supplying everybody. It still probably came from Fritz. He was the one. He was the plug. Like, he had, if you needed 1,000 keys or whatever, he can get it.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard.
He definitely was. And he was somebody who shared. He wasn't nobody. He wasn't arrogant. He wasn't flashy. Like, if you saw him, you'd be like, ain't no way in hell this man got, that's him. But that's how you're supposed to be. That's how you're supposed to move and how you're supposed to look.
Right.
All the jury, and you're just inviting people in to try to, do something to you, all that negativity.
I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah.
He so everybody's getting money. You're with Lou, even though Lou's doing his thing, but you don't give a fuck because he's paying you the attention. You're getting his time. Then you get a phone call. They think that Lou killed Rich Porter.
See, when I got that phone call after the fact, I realized that it was probably a prank or something like that. And whoever had my mother's phone number, whatever, just did that. But yeah, one night I was at home and I got a call, and this was right after Rich Porter was found. They said, yeah, bitch, we know Lou killed Rich. They gonna find you in the river. So I'm like, what the fuck? I could curse, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So when he came in, I told him, and I'm like, yo, you need to go up to 7th Avenue and see what's going on, because somebody just called the house and said that they're going to kill me because they think that you killed Rich. So, I told him put the vest on. He got his gun and went uptown. I mean, up the block. But he came, like I said, he came back quick. So he was like, listen, we good. So once he say, we good, we good. But after the fact, I was like, that was probably somebody just playing, things were going on, and I felt like, his name was ringing bells in the street. So everything that was happening, his name came up. So I think the person that called me was just on some BS.
How was Harlem affected by Rich Porter's death? Because they said a lot of people, we had somebody up here, Bootsy, talked about the paid in full, the real paid in full, and like he said, a lot of people liked Rich. And even Lou, Gangsta Lou, said that when he was up here, he said when Rich Porter died, like it caused like a dark cloud over Harlem. Do you think so? How was Harlem affected by Rich Porter's death?
I think his brother, the little brother, getting killed along with at the same time. I think that is what, I think that had a bigger effect. If it was just him, some people probably would have been hurt, but the fact that how everything happened, it was that I think that put a dark cloud over Harlem because that baby was, that
Baby, yeah.
yeah, that was that was something else. But a lot of people liked Rich. You had a lot of young guys that wanted to be Rich because Rich was flashy. He drove the cars. He had a little swag when we didn't even use the word swag. So he had something about him that people, they wanted to be like him. So I'll say that, yeah.
Did everybody know? And I'm gonna ask you this. I don't know. Did you know Alpo did it at the time?
No, I don't think nobody really knew where that came from, to be honest with you. Some people probably thought the same people that had snatched the little brother probably did it. So that would be the first thought,
All right. So you with Lou? When do things start getting a little rocky? Because
Well, I think the girl he was with at the time, she tried to run me over. I was standing in the street. Me and my girlfriends was standing it was summer. We was standing in the street. And I saw his car, so I started smiling, thinking it was him. But then a car bust a mean U and almost hit me, my girlfriend, and a dude that was on a bike talking to her. So I was like, that's her. I said, okay. So I went upstairs, got my little gun, called like Touch of Class limousine, and me and all my girls jumped in it. I knew where she was probably going to be at because her sister lived in some building in Harlem. So we in a limousine, and I was probably just going to shoot the windows or the tires out or something like that. I probably wasn't going to shoot her. So, but then I seen a car behind the limousine. Like, you remember Touch of Class? You don't know. Touch of Class was a cab, a base that had like all the OJs that had the cars on hold. So we're in a limousine, but then I see one of Lou's friends driving behind us. So I look, I had the guy, I was like, listen, take me to the precinct. Because I didn't know what he was going to do. So I had let my girlfriends out. The cab dropped me off in front of the precinct.
But you had a gun on you, though.
Yeah, I did. I didn't. Okay. I just didn't. I wanted him, the guy that Lou had following me. Right. I wanted him to go ahead about his business. He didn't know I had a gun on me. But then I see Lou come walking up the block, and we just left. I told him his baby mother almost tried to run me over though. So I'm
How
sure.
How close was she to hitting you?
Oh, very close. She hit the guy's bike.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was almost like literally probably would have been on the hood of the car. Cause when I say she bust a mean you, I mean where it made noise and all that. Yeah, she was tight. Yeah.
So you was a fancy gang. So you called a limousine to go back and get her. Though. You try to.
Yeah, cause I had all my girls with me, so we all got in there.
Oh my god.
Wow. And when do y'all you and Lou?
Oh, because I had got a phone call from a girl uptown saying, "Oh, Lou got another girl uptown." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I flipped on him about that.
But why you flipping when you know he had a girl? What type
No,
of
this is another girl.
But you knew he had a
one-
name.
Right, true, but still.
One girl's all right, but two is too much. Right?
Get a G. Get a G.
One is cool.
Right,
two is too much.
right. Too many.
Three is company.
Right.
Oh, thank you for being a friend.
So I'm like, I approached him about that, and he got mad. Then he went uptown, slapped her,
Oh shit.
beat her brother up, and was about to fight the mama. So he goes in.
He goes in like that.
Oh yeah.
And so then, and during this time,
I met Ace.
but before you met Ace, you met Fritz.
Right, cause one of my good friends, she was like a niece to him, so she used to be, come on T, let's go downtown, see my uncle, get some money, just to do whatever we was doing in the street. So I met Fritz. We went down there a couple of times. So one day Fritz was like, T, somebody like you. But I kind of already knew because I seen Ace in the house. And he, you catch somebody's eye. You keep it moving. But I'm looking at him like, nah, I don't really, So when he said that, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I already know who it was. So one day when I left Fritz's house apartment, Ace was sitting downstairs on his motorcycle, and we just started talking. He seemed cool and all that. And we just started talking from there. We would talk on the phone. He'll page me. I'll page him. He'll come to the block. He started sending me roses and stuff. And, I ain't never had roses. That was kind of like, okay, that's nice.
Girl, that's fancy.
How nice was it? You never had roses? And
Yeah.
where was Mama Love at this time?
Oh, she was home. She was like, oh, who sent those? She was like, you got something on the table. So she kind of thought it was cool. But, and I was in college at the time. So he was giving me money for school, tuition. I told him I had financial aid, but I had, that's game. So he was giving me money to pay for school. So yeah, he was a cool guy.
Yo, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to figure out.
But Lou started acting up, so it's like, okay. He felt something one day because I was shopping and I was buying Canal Street name chains with diamonds and stuff. So he approached me about the money. So I ended up telling him that I was getting money from this guy. It wasn't no sex because he was like, Ace was like real busy. So that worked for me. But I still took the money.
Of course, right?
All right. Why not?
So your swag must have been on a trillion for you to just to be getting people throwing money at you, bags, trying to pay for this, and like what? Anyway, let's talk about Fritz. Describe Fritz to us. What kind of person was he?
He was the sweetest guy, but like I said, he just looked like a regular dude, with a t-shirt and jeans on all the time. Just real cool, sitting on 112th Street. Just looking out for everybody. Yeah,
Does anybody know his background? Like, was he from the Caribbean? Was his parents black?
They from South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah, actually, yeah, a cousin of his just hit me the other day. I spoke to his son, Lil Richard, maybe 3 weeks ago, and a couple of his cousins down there. Yeah, so
Fritz was a guy that was just getting money but looking out for everybody.
Everybody.
Describe his mannerisms. He wasn't mean. He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't rough.
No, just cool. I mean, whatever you think cool is, that's what he was. Yeah, and if you wanted to hustle, whether he knew you like that or not, he'll give you a chance because he had it to do that. Like, it wouldn't have been a loss if you ran off, messed up.
Do you think Fritz got anybody hurt?
I'm not really sure about that. I know people tried to hurt him. He was almost kidnapped one time. Somebody tried to kidnap him. I had an issue one time. Actually, they tried to act like they were police and tried to kidnap him, but he ended up getting away from that. And I remember a time, but I know I'm jumping the gun because you're going to ask me about that. One time I got robbed, and after I got robbed, the police had came to my door banging, and I was scared to open up the door because I remember Fritz issue with the police. I don't know, I was just thinking in my head that these police are fake. And my little sister was about to jump out the window because she was real scary like that, but she a fight. So me being scared, panicking that these are fake police at the door, we on the 6th floor, she literally on the ledge, and there's a plaza downstairs. She was just going to take her chances. I called my neighbor, and I said, Mac, it's some people knocking at the door. I don't know if they real or fake police. So she walked down the hall. She said, Tanya, open up the door. They real. So when I opened up the door, he showed his badge. He said, why wouldn't you open up the door? I said, because I didn't know if y'all was real. He was like, why would you think that? So I was stuck. I didn't really say anything. So, and then they had the wrong goddamn door. They was looking for somebody else upstairs. So my sister would have jumped out the goddamn window for nothing. They had a picture of somebody else they was looking for. But yeah. Fritz, I don't know if you ever heard anybody, but I'm sure, it was definitely people trying to get at him because of who he was and what he had. Yeah.
And do you think that by him being incognito and not being flashy, do you think that kept him outside, Because I never heard, has he ever been incarcerated?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I would have to ask my daughter's father, but I don't think so. But you know him. He definitely had people around him that would have protected him. You know, like Hen Dog, Chuck. It was a couple of people there, so you know, around him.
So Fritz tell you Ace like you.
Hmm.
Ace likes you. Ace gives you money, but Lou acting up. You was taking Ace money and taking Lou shopping.
What? Yeah, he found out later. Well, I was taking him shopping. And then I had to tell him where I was getting the money from, because he thought, you know, my mother. Stop doing that. But yeah,
I didn't see no shit like that. Take me shopping.
yeah. You know, I mean, he was my boyfriend.
Thank
you
you.
know, so I took him down to Paragon, got him a Marmot and some stuff like yeah,
I ain't gonna do it. Yeah.
yeah.
And then so, did you tell Lou it was Ace, or you ain't tell him at first?
No. Oh, no. I ain't tell him at first, but when he was like, Miss, I ain't giving you money like that. Where if you getting that money from? So then I told him, I said, this guy like me from downtown. His name is Ace. So then I was like, I'm going to stop taking it, you know? Yeah.
But you were still getting your own money at the time too, right? Like you were still, or did you slow down?
Yeah. I don't think I was really hustling. Because, you know, Stan would just throw me money just because, you know.
So you just stopped. You
yeah.
left it alone.
And I was in school, in college.
Keep it 100. Did Lou throw dirt on? Did hate on Ace at the time? Like, man, fuck that. Or he ain't-
I'm not really sure. But when I say, you know, he down with Fritz, you know, once you say that, it's like, okay, that's money down there. You know, you can't really, because like when I ended up leaving Lou, like my thing was when I broke up with him. Why are you looking like that?
I'm trying to figure out how you broke up with somebody that has a girl already. I'm
Right?
sorry. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm trying to figure out how you broke up with a nigga that got a girl.
Well, when I stopped dealing with him,
Okay.
my mindset was like, okay, so he could just kind of like leave me alone and don't bother me. You know, I had to strategize. So it's like, who I'm going to run to? Why not Ace? Because they have power. Because anybody else, Lou would have got at. So that's what my mindset was. So yeah.
So you went with
So
Ace.
he
And then Ace, you said, was a sweetheart.
yeah.
Roses, looking out.
Mm-hmm.
What was that relationship like?
It was cool. He took me to 2 apartments, asked me which one I wanted to stay in. It was one $11.99, but I didn't like it because it was the 25th floor, had a terrace. It was kind of too high for me. So we had an apartment on 151st and Convent. So we stayed there most of the time. He gave me 2 cars to drive, a Legend and a 325 BMW.
Man.
We had a customized van, and he had his 1100 Suzuki, and just showed me where the money was at in the house if I needed to use it.
30,000.
And we had a driver that worked 24 hours. He was on call 24 hours a day. He only worked for Ace or us.
That shit gotta be golden, bro.
And what type of guy was Ace, though? Like, you never described the type of guy
Ace was cool. Ace was from Barbados. He, at first, it's like, he didn't look like he had money either. He wore Dockers and like a tank top. He had a shag. Like, he was just like different. But he was cool though, you know.
So you attracted to him physically, or were you attracted to the bag?
Well, it was, I would have to say it was the bag at first. And like I said, when I left Lou, I had to go somewhere. But, you know, talking to him on the phone, I was learning to, you know, feel, you know.
Of course you don't, you know.
But then I did stop it over there. No, but yeah. I liked him though, because, you know, the conversations was different than, you know, he was just different. He was different. And he treated me well.
Did any man slap you?
Oh yeah, Lou did. I wrote about it in the book when I was coming from shopping one day, and he ran. I sensed it. I tried to run in the building, and he ran behind me, punched me in the face, snatched my chain, and that's when it was like, okay, I'm gonna eat that. It's over. And I went right downtown and bought a brand new chain with diamonds that said T on it, I guess.
So why did he run down on you?
Because he felt like the tension, like, okay, she's more doing her, and
You're trying to play him.
yeah, or, you know, she's not really in this no more. And I wasn't.
So when he punched you, did you fall or you ate that?
Yeah, I had to eat that, and I was cool with that.
Did you fall?
No, I didn't fall.
Did you run in the building or you just took the punch?
Yeah, no. I ran in the building, tried to get. It's like 2 lobbies, so one part of the lobby you got to ring the intercom or have security open it. Security watched them punch me in the goddamn face. They ain't do nothing. But I ate it. I was cool with that.
Okay. So, all right. So now you with Ace, and you said Ace is, he's cool, different, but he's getting the bag. He's that nigga. Where does it go crazy then?
Well, we was together for maybe living together for about 4 or 5 months, and because I broke up with Lou in '90, the summer of '90, so I started dealing with Ace, living with him. But then February of '91 is when Ace got arrested.
For the murder in '87.
Right.
But he ain't do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 21. So I'm like, okay, 21. He gets arrested. I paid a lawyer. Then Fritz gave me $40,000 to get another lawyer, which was Mel Sachs, so he could have 2. But they didn't work good together. It was like they both was mad that the other was there. It was just crazy. So Sachs got $40,000, Levine got $25,000, and it was just crazy. I ended up having to take over Ace operation. Who owed money. Who, I was selling keys of coke, and now, yeah.
So you back in the game now.
Yeah.
Back in the game. So now you in the game. You back in the game. Ace get locked up. You take over the operation, and you just basically know what he showed you. You've been watching. You've been learning. So he basically schooled you on what to do.
Yeah, it wasn't really hard for me to learn because I kind of already,
Harlem, yeah,
I just needed to know who owed the money so I could go pick it up.
Okay. Now you do that, and then how long is it from after Ace gets locked up to when you get robbed?
In May. February was when he got locked up. May is when I got robbed.
So 3 months. And then you said Fritz asked you or told you about getting the safe.
Yeah.
How big was the safe?
It sits about this high, but it's heavy. You literally got to get on your knees just to push it. Like, it's real. Yeah. So Fritz was like, listen, get a safe, because whatever money I get, I'm going to give you some money for him. You know what I'm saying? He was a good dude. Ace already had his own thing going on out there, out in the streets, but he was like, listen, I'm still going to give you some money for him, right, besides whatever he got out there. And I was, really just out riding around, pulling up how much you got today, because I had a book of who owed how much money. You had somebody owed 50 here, 60 there, 30 there. It's a lot of people that owed him some money, owed them money.
You by yourself? You ride around by yourself, or you had?
No, by myself.
Oh wow.
Bring us to the robbery.
So one day my sister, she was outside. She was maybe 15 at the time.
And you were pregnant at the time?
Yeah, I was pregnant. Yeah, I was. Yeah. I think about 6 months pregnant then. Yeah. I told my sister to come upstairs because this time I had ended up consolidating. I had let 2 apartments go and got an apartment on Fort Washington, a nice big apartment. And it was easier for me to do business from my mother's house. Plus I was pregnant and kind of sick. I had morning sickness all day. So I told my sister, come upstairs at a certain time. And I got a knock at the door, and the girl said, Tanya. I'm thinking it's my sister. I just opened up the door. I ain't looked through the peephole or nothing. But before that, my brother-in-law was there getting some money for their father. 5 minutes after he leave, I get the knock on the door.
Right.
2 dudes and a girl bum rush me in the house. I fall to the floor. And I'm just looking like they got guns to my head. They was like, take us to the safe. Right then and there, I knew I was set up. Because nobody really knew I had a safe except for maybe 4 people. Some guys that was working for Ace, my brother-in-law, That was it, really. And Fritz, because he told me to get it. So I'm swiping the guns from my head because I don't want them to go off and all that. And they was like, just take us to the safe. So I took them to the back where I had the safe at. And I'm just thinking. I wasn't really nervous. I was more like, these motherfuckers is playing. Like, I'm like, they robbing me. Like, I was just trying to think of things in my head. So they said, open the safe. And I'm acting like I'm open. I'm acting like I'm nervous. Like I can't remember. But I remembered it, the combination. But I'm trying to think at the same time, So one guy was like, I'm a killer. I said, then you're not getting nothing. I'm not opening it. So the girl was like, don't worry, you're going to be okay. Like, she know me. So I'm like, I said, listen, I'll open up the safe. Just don't hurt me and my baby. So the guy said, okay. I opened up the safe. He said, okay, get on the bed, put the pillow on your head. I said, I'm not doing that. That's something I'm not going to do. Because some people just want to see how shit feel. You're not testing nothing. You ain't going to play killer on me just to see how something feels. So to make them feel comfortable, I asked the guy, I said, listen, y'all could take this and go ahead. I'm not going to do anything. You could tie me up. I think I even offered for him to tie me up. So he took the telephone wire, tied me up or whatever. I had a little gun under the mattress that I was sitting on that Unique had gave me. And I was thinking, but I'm like, nah, let me just play these cards and just see how it, what happens. So they took the money. I had just sold the last 2 keys of coke to Hen Dog. I had the ledger in there. I had jewelry, my diamond ring, my engagement ring, jewelry. So they took everything.
Were they masked up?
Yeah. They had masks on. So they took everything and ran out the door. So I put some clothes on because I was in panties and bra. So I put some clothes on. And as soon as I opened up the door, my little sister was standing there. I'm like, yo, they just robbed me. So when we ran down the stairs on the first floor, it was masks and hoodies. They took everything off and then walked out the staircase and walked out the building. Yeah.
Yeah, I never found out who did it.
I never knew who the people was that came in, but my brother-in-law set me up.
And how you so sure that your brother-in-law set you up?
Because they came right after he did. And when I called my mother-in-law immediately. I'm like, yo, your son set me up. So I told Ace, I'm like, your brother set me up. I'm going to get him. I'm going to have him killed. When he never visited Ace again, Ace believed me. And to this day, he ain't seen his brother.
Wow.
Ace
20-something years, yeah. Ace is in Barbados. He got deported.
Got deported.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because he was born there.
Yeah.
He still ain't seen his brother.
Nope.
Is his brother around? Have you seen him?
Yeah, I heard 12 years after I got robbed, I bumped into him looking crazy. I think he was like halfway cracked out. But it was 12 years later. But 6 years after I got robbed, this lady came to me and said, you Tanya? I was like, yeah. She said, I got to tell you something. This chick that was from my building was dealing with some people that knew the robbers. Like, she was there. She knew. I think supposedly she was around when they planned the whole thing. And she told the lady about it. The lady got mad at her and 6 years later told me. Somebody had this Big Deb. She was a hustler from the east side. She said, T, don't worry. Anything in the dark will come to light. And 6 years later, the lady told me. But I kind of, yeah.
What did she tell you?
She told me that the chick that lived in my building was there when they planned it. And, yeah, I think she was messing with a guy whose sister was messing with one of Ace brothers, something like that. Yeah.
So it was Ace brother.
Yeah, it was his brother.
So when you saw him 12 years later, what did you say to him? Nothing?
I ain't really say nothing to him. I ain't say nothing to him.
He looked crazy already. Like he was.
Yeah, like on drugs. Yeah. I'm like, y'all took that money and ain't do shit with it. Like,
How much did they take about, you think?
It was like 100-something thousand. I had
150,000. Right?
Yeah. My sister said I had a big bag of weed in there too. I don't even remember that, but she said, yeah, they took the big bag of weed. So they took that, the jewelry, the ledger. I was more concerned with the ledger because it had names and money next to everybody. I was more concerned because money, you could make money.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah. Only a hustler talks like that.
Yeah,
Only a
Yeah.
hustler, somebody
Yeah.
who gets it. You know, of course.
we
yeah.
get it back. 100,000 now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like.
So, what year was this? 1990?
91.
91. But
Mm-hmm.
before that, what year did Jacob brother go crazy?
90.
So,
Yeah.
so tell us about that real quick.
Yeah.
Jacob ends up getting killed
Yes.
for killing, and allegedly, let's say allegedly,
It was allegedly for killing Wild Al.
and
Also, it has something to do with somebody messing with his girl or one of his kids' mother. So,
T Money.
yeah.
So T Money was boning.
That's what they were saying. Yeah.
So T Money was fucking Jacob's wife.
That's what they said. Yeah. Allegedly.
All right, so allegedly he's fucking his wife.
Yeah.
And then so
Rashid is a guy from Manhattanville who was thorough. He ended up killing Jason and his brother, his little brother.
Jason or Jacob?
Oh wow, right. Okay.
Who is Jason?
Jason is Jacob. I didn't use his name in the book. So Jason, the guy name is Jason, allegedly. I mean, his name is Jason, but allegedly Jason, killed Al. So yeah, I was trying to, when I wrote the book, I was protecting
Everybody.
at the time,
I respect it.
So
basically,
mm-hmm.
T Money, is that his real name or is another name?
Yeah, no, that's T
T
Money.
Money
Yeah,
fucked Jacob, aka Jason's wife.
yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right.
And then, not laughing. Wait.
No, because.
Okay, fucked his wife, and then Rashid wasn't feeling it.
Right, and because Rashid and Al were good friends,
So he saw it as an opportunity.
Yeah,
in
or
your opinion.
yeah. So he was like,
allegedly.
Yeah.
And then end up killing Jacob. Where did Jacob die at?
I believe he was on the phone. I believe on 127th Street, if I'm not mistaken.
Payphone?
But I think it was at a payphone. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, got killed.
Yeah.
And then what happens next? Then his little brother.
So the night of Jason's wake, me, Lou, Stan, 3 other guys, my best friend Michelle and her man was all in front of my building. So they was doing work on the building, so it was a scaffold there. So I'm talking to Lou. Lou is standing in the street facing me. I'm right here. And that's the corner of 134th Street. A look came over Lou's face looking that way. So before I could do this, these little young dudes with hoodies on was like, there that motherfucker go, and started shooting. Lou pushed me and ran thinking they was coming at him, but they actually went straight for Stan. And this was the night of Jason's wake. So his brother didn't even wait for him to get in the ground, And I understand. Again, I understand,
So why would they have to stand?
I don't know. Maybe they thought that maybe he had something to do with Jason getting killed because it is Wild Al's brother, He killed T Money. He caught T Money on 127th Street in a car and killed him, along with an innocent bystander, a good guy everybody liked named Rodney. He was going after everybody who he thought had something to do with his brother's death. And he was a young boy. He wasn't about that life. And it just goes to show that, you could take somebody from someone that means the world to them, and they will lose their mind.
So he killed.
He tried to kill Stan.
Y'all.
Yep.
Then he got
T Money.
Killed T Money and Rodney.
And then he killed Rashid on 121st Street. 125th in front of 125. So that little boy was going in.
And Rashid was the last person he killed.
Yeah. Until somebody killed him. I don't even know who killed him.
Where did they find him at? Do you know how he got killed? Where he got shot at? Nobody knows.
No, I think it may have been somewhere on the east side. Yeah. But I don't really know the details of his death.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you said you understood and you respected because they turned him into that.
And they took somebody that was very precious to him that he loved, so I understand. Yeah.
And in your opinion, he must have been a good a good what's the word you use when you stake out? You know, he had to drop on everybody.
Yeah, cause yeah.
He dedicated his time to get revenge.
Oh, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So now you never find out who robbed you.
Yeah, to this
years
day.
later. And then what? Now everything is gone.
Mhm.
So what happens next?
The money. You know, Fritz was still alive at the time, but his health was deteriorating. So you know, he wasn't telling me what I wanted to hear. So I went up to Leon. So I was like, "Listen, you know, Ace brother got me robbed. I want him dead." He was like, "Okay, no problem." He was like, find out who the girl is, find out who the dudes is. I got you. So, you know, that's what I wanted to hear at that time. You know, it was like, but after that, it was like, okay, I just gotta. Leon said, okay, I'll pay for your daughter's cause she was going to some little private school. I'll pay her tuition. So he was going to take care of us and look out. You know, Fritz would have did the same thing. You know, Fritz ended up dying that August. You know, that 1991 was something else. It was a lot going on. So Fritz died, Chuck died, he got killed. So it was a lot going on.
How did Ace feel while being in prison hearing all this?
I mean, he felt helpless, you know. Me, you know, because I could have lost my baby, you know. Yeah. Fritz's death affected him tremendously. Because that was his mentor, his brother, his everything. Like, that was his friend.
What did he die from?
He was just sick. Health issues. I don't want to say. It's personal. What? Yeah. Health
When
issues.
somebody don't want to say what they died from, you know what they died from.
Okay.
It kind of sums it down.
Yeah. It's not cancer.
Right.
If it's not you know where it's from.
Allegedly, he had a blood transfusion that was tainted in the 80s. Before they was
happened
checking.
to somebody else as well.
Yeah.
That happened to somebody else as well.
Yeah.
That happened before.
No,
in
yeah.
the hospital.
Because they wasn't checking it back then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, rest in peace. Damn, that's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
He didn't fight.
Yeah.
The family can't they can't sue for that or
I don't. Yeah. Right.
get
Yeah.
anything. I mean, I know it's not gonna help anything.
Right. But now it would be
Yeah.
statute of limitations. Usually
Yeah.
it's 2 to 7 years, depending on what it is. Yeah.
He should have hollered.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. So he passed away. He was sick, but you didn't know what he was sick with at the time.
I knew he was sick.
Oh, you knew?
Yeah.
Okay.
His health, because he had been sick before, and Ace had someone come up and take care of him, and he was like almost new again. That's why Ace was real upset with the dudes that was left around. Like, why y'all not doing nothing? He's sick. You know, Fritz saying, I don't want to go to the doctor. You know, Ace thing was like, throw the nigga on your fucking back and take him to the fucking doctor. You know, because I always say that if Ace was here, you know, he would have made sure he was all right.
Did Ace give you your blessings to move on? That's my big question.
Did he? No, he didn't. I would no. No.
Go
Who wants their baby mother or their girl to move on? What?
Take your time. Take your time, brother. Take your time, brother.
I knew it. Listening to the interview, I knew it.
Take your time, brother.
He
I
didn't
had
get.
faith. I was fucking with her heavy. She had me at hello.
Hello.
He didn't give me his blessing. Who's gonna give their girl their blessing? They don't want to see that.
Nah, hell
But
no.
you know, he got 20. I'm 21, and he gets 20 to life.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's,
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
you gotta be a real ride or die
right.
to be
But I
around for
always
that.
made sure he was good, though. You know.
Are you sure if we was to speak to him? We can get in contact with him. If we was to speak to him, would he concur this? Would he verify it?
What that?
That you held him down regardless?
Yeah, he'll say that.
For how
I made
long?
sure he was
How long
alright.
you held him down till you stopped holding him down?
I mean,
Yeah, of course.
no. Now, one thing I can say, his mother trooped it. His mother trooped the whole bit. But I was always there in some kind of way. I ain't never, I took my daughter up there. My daughter did trailer visits with her father. You know, I kept him involved in whatever she was doing.
That's
you
dope.
know,
That's dope.
but
So-
21.
So, Fritz passed away. Now, who is Big Deb?
She was a hustler from the east side. who was getting money. She had her own little crew.
What's the name of her crew?
I don't think they had a name.
Oh, it's just a
Yeah,
crew.
yeah, from Lincoln Projects.
It wasn't like the what was her crew called again?
Oh, the Gutter Girls.
Gutter Girls. The Gutter Girls. So Big Deb. So how did
Yeah.
you meet Big Deb?
Through Ace and Fritz, but I always kind of knew her because Jermaine and was all from Lincoln, so I already kind of knew who Big Deb was. I used to see her on 7th Avenue with Rich Porter and so I knew she was somebody in the street getting money.
She was cool.
Real cool.
So
She's my daughter's godmother.
it's Big Deb,
Mm-hmm.
and another guy named Hen Dog.
Yeah, Hen was from the Soundview area, but he was down with Fritz and Ace and He was good people. But he ended up getting killed in '92. He was the one when Fritz gave us the 40,000 to hire Mel Sachs. He went with me to hire Mel Sachs. Yeah.
But like I was saying, like the guy decided not to. Who took over Fritz's operation? Or you can't say.
I ain't mentioning his name, but somebody who
Why you not mention his name?
he already running around mad, cause it's really no need to mention his name.
What does his name start with?
Just stop it. I ain't mentioning his name, but yeah,
Respect.
some people think that they can do what somebody else did, and you can't. Now, if Ace was out, it would have ran smooth. Everybody in the street would have been getting money, and Ace would have took care of the family. This dude did everything else and just left the family for dead, like me, Deb, Hen Dog.
Did he mess up Fritz's operation?
Yeah, I would say he did.
By not? But are you being biased because he didn't take care of you, or did he mess it up?
No, he messed up because he ended up getting caught on the highway with like 15 keys and going to jail.
For how long?
I don't know how long he did, maybe 5 or 10 years, something like that. But yeah, it's like,
So he didn't want to look out for y'all anymore. He didn't.
oh no, he sent somebody to tell me that he wasn't paying my bills no more because Fritz paid all my bills. I said, okay. So I went up to Leon. Yeah, I want him dead too. I was just on some like, yo, because I was like, how you disrespect me? Ace is gone. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, really? So he was like that. He wasn't hitting Hen, Deb, like, and these were all the people that Fritz took care of. Like, we was a family.
So y'all come together and make it and come up with an operation.
Well, it was a guy named Jay Black that Deb introduced me to.
I think we heard that name.
And we was about to get hit by Jay Black, but the lynch mob killed him. On some other
Crazy, son.
on some other stuff. Yeah. What?
So
Yeah.
nah, she's crazy. Like this, all the shit she involved in.
That's a
So
lot.
so
That's a
so
lot.
so it is a lot. So what I'm saying, the question I have is that you, Deb, and Hen Dog come together, and you try to start an operation because he wasn't setting y'all out. Hen Dog end up getting killed.
Yeah.
He get killed in the Bronx.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and what he got killed for? You don't know.
Him and some guy had a beef. Yeah, it was a guy named Vincent. They had a beef, and Hen was about his business, but I think the guy was scared. So when you dealing with somebody who's scared like that, they gonna get you, and that's what happened.
Killed him.
Mhm.
Oh God! Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then after that, so Fritz passed away. All this shit happened. Where does that leave you though? No more money. Ain't
Broke.
paying nothing.
Broke.
Fucked up.
Gotta figure something out. Gotta either go back to school or get a job.
Did you do all that?
Yeah, I went back to school. Got a little job. Had to take care of my daughter.
Where did you work at?
I did home care, like a home health aide or something like. Yeah, I did that.
And then the lynch mob
And-
was got at that during this time the lynch mob.
They started to get arrested in '94 and '95. Yeah, so they all. Yeah, by '95 they had all of them rounded up and inside.
And how many years you were fucked up for?
Um,
Like where things got bad, where you had to go get a job. Like things got bad for you, you couldn't.
I mean, I had to figure that out immediately. Like once, because Deb ended up getting 21 years.
What?
Yeah, she did 21.
She's home?
Conspiracy. Yeah, she's down south living her life quiet.
Respected that.
Yeah, she did 21 years. So I really didn't have nobody left, to be honest with you. Hmm.
And did it make you wish you could? Did it make you think and reflect? Was these reflecting stage?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I had went to nursing school and like when I got out of high school in like 87, 88. But then when I started dealing with Ace, you thinking, okay, at a young age, I'm like, okay, I'm with him. We getting money. I got a place to stay. We living good. And you think, the money is not going to stop.
Right.
So I dropped out of school, at that time. Had I, I reflect. I was like, I should have continued on. But, I was able to raise my daughter. She had a good upbringing because I had great family support. Yeah.
So how old was your daughter when you were going through those hard times? How old was she around?
She was young because, I was pregnant when her dad went to, so it was like,
Right.
but she never felt nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, bring us to the day you got shot.
That day, me and my little cousin was coming from getting something to eat. And it's a guy from my block named 50 Thorough. He's, some of the guys that was down with the lynch mob was talking to him when I got to the corner. So I'm looking like there's absolutely no reason for them to be talking to him. It's like 4 or 5 of them and him.
Right.
So I knew it was something that wasn't right. So I was about to flag a cab, go tell Leon if something ain't right down there, you need to go call him up and see what's going on. But before I can do that, I heard the shots and I turned around. And 50 was running to the corner with like a big red circle on his chest. And the look on his face is a look I'll never forget. And the look was like, damn, like they got me, because 50 carried his gun with him everywhere. But that day I heard he put it in the bodega on the corner. Wow, no. So when he came to me and the guys was running, I yelled out one of the guys' name because I knew all of them. But then as 50 got closer, I turned around and ran and I fell. I didn't feel the bullet, but for some reason I knew I got shot. And 50 fell in front of me. And of course, living in Harlem, being in the street, I've seen plenty of bodies under white sheets.
Right.
And that's the thought that went through my head. I'm like, I can't lay out here. I'm like, my baby upstairs, she was like 2.5. Her daddy in jail. I was like, I can't die out here. So my cousin was in shock. She never seen nothing. She was just standing there like this. So I got up. It was a cab on the corner, and a guy named John got in the cab with me from my block. So I was like 2 blocks down from Harlem Hospital. Got me there, and the bullet went straight through. It went like about 1 inch or 2 from my spine and came out my right breast. And but I didn't know at the time. But when I got to the hospital and they took my clothes off, it came straight through. It got stuck in this little vest that I had on.
Wow.
And the cop showed me the bullet.
So you didn't know you got hit until you got to the...
No, I knew it. So I can't really describe it, but
Right.
I felt like it threw me to the ground, or I should. But for some reason, I said, Tammy, I was telling my cousin, I said, yo, I'm hit. But she was in shock. So I had to get up and get the hell up out of there. Because I'm like, I can't die out here on these streets, not on the street.
Your sister went and told Leon that you got...
Yeah, but yeah, that was while I was in the hospital. So I ended up getting a chest tube because I was bleeding inside. Had I laid there, I'd have smothered to death.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I'm glad I did get up and didn't wait. Yeah, so they, did they thing, cut me open, took the clothes off, whatever. And took me upstairs. It was so crazy and it was so surreal because while I was in my bed, I looked at the scene on the news. They had the flares in the street, the little yellow things. I was actually watching it while I was in the room,
What was 50 at the time?
Oh, well, before I got upstairs, they rolled 50 in right next to me. I watched them cut his chest open and massage his heart, trying to, revive him. But he died.
They did the surgery right next to you in the same room?
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard you get emotional or got emotional when you talk about Harlem Hospital.
Yeah, I got emotional because just reflecting and thinking back, I'm so glad I didn't lay down on that ground. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they saved my life, so I got to give it up to them.
I heard Harlem Hospital gives a lot of beds out. Shout out to Loaded Lux. Harlem Hospital giving beds out.
Wow.
So your sister, could G Money ask you about your sister telling Leon?
Yeah, my sister. It was so crazy because I'm watching the news. I see my cousin on the news, my friend, and my sister. So my sister knew what happened somehow. She goes uptown and go to the store. They all having a meeting in the back because I guess they discussing what the hell they did because they reported to Leon. And my sister was like, yo, y'all shot T. And everybody like, what? T was out there? And she just went in. She was like, yep, you nigga with the blue and yellow shirt on. And you have, because I guess people was describing the shooters. So Leon, I had asked them not to put my name downstairs.
Right.
Because although I know Leon and them love me, I'm still trying to protect myself. I don't know, I'm like, yo, don't put my name downstairs. I didn't want nobody to know what room I was in. Then I think that night, this dude, Leon, with a hospital jacket on, pushing a tray, come in the room.
Wow.
I said, if they wanted to kill me, he could have fucking smothered me to death.
Wow.
I'm like, what the fuck? He like, yo, T, you gonna be good. I'm gonna make sure them niggas take care of you. Boom, boom, boom. I'm sorry. I love you. So
he snuck in the hospital.
He knew somebody there, and they gave him all that. I said, this is crazy.
That's your daughter's godfather.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, when they got incarcerated, your name was down as one of the people.
A victim. Because they was all telling on each other.
Wow.
Can you explain the situation? I know, shout out to my man Clips, and I don't want to. My man, I know he don't like, Lord of Lux brought up in a battle. But I really don't understand how what Leon did. He told the court, he made a deal that he was going to testify, right? And then what did he do wrong? Not wrong, but what did he do? What made them rip it up?
Because one thing about the feds, they kind of already know. Right. So you can't half step. Either you're going to tell it, and if you fuck up, they will rip your agreement up. So I think he began to tell, but then tried to take it back, from my understanding. And they just ended up ripping his plea deal up. That's from my understanding. And he got life.
The murder with 50 was on there, right? The murder 54 other people. And they charged him with a whole other.
And like 15 other bodies.
Because people were telling on each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that was telling on each other. Yeah.
So now, tell us about Baby Maine or Baby J or Maine.
Jermaine. I met Jermaine when he was 15. Him and my sister started dating. And he was from Lincoln. He had his little crew. And they was funny. What? You so crazy. Nah, they had their little crew going on. And, he was a real charismatic little dude. Funny. Getting money. They was hustling out in D.C. I remember it was one dude that was with them. I think Rich Porter tried to give them something one time, and they was like, "Nah, we good," because they was doing their own thing, So they was definitely getting money out in D.C. So my sister was in junior high school. She was right, she was coming to school with her little stuff on. I remember her telling me that the guidance counselor came to her. I was like, "Excuse me, we heard you're messing with a drug dealer." She was like, "What?" So she tried to
Wow.
yeah. So he took care of her. He was good. He was a good dude. Good dude.
And at the time, who were you messing with at this time? Who were you dealing with?
Lou. Lou. Well, later on, cause she met Jermaine in like '87, but 2 years after they broke up, we were still a family. So
Gotcha, yeah, still was
Jermaine
cool.
was in my life from the age of 15 to the day he died. So
Okay.
he was always around. Even when my sister got pregnant, got a new man, got pregnant, had a baby, he was always there.
So who were you messing with when Jermaine was going through all the situation with Pop Lottie?
I was with his cousin Boogs in '99, cause that's Pop Lottie. Pop Lottie shot Jermaine up February of 1999. He shot him 5 times, kind of by mistake. He was scared, so he just let off 5 shots, and all 5 shots caught him.
By mistake.
Yeah, kinda. I would say that because
Respect.
Boogs started to argue. Okay, this is what happened. Pop Lottie and this other guy from my building was messing with somebody that was down with Jermaine and them. So later on that night, Jermaine and them came to my block, and an argument ensued between Boogs and someone else. So the dude that's arguing with Boogs had his hand in his pocket and shot through his jacket. Pop Lottie got nervous, from what I hear, and just started letting off shots, and like 5 shots hit Jermaine. That's something that he didn't want to do, but it's something that happened. And if you scared, it's like, shit, I'm going to, get you before you get me. And that's what happened that night. And Jermaine got shot 5 times.
And he survived.
And he survived. It didn't hit anything vital. And when he survived that, it was like, oh, he just thought you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, wow. He was a funny little dude with the Tupac shit and all kind of shit going on, the posters.
And he was getting money.
Oh, he was getting money. After that, he was getting money then, but after that, he started that heroin thing was big. He had a 18-month run that made dudes look like yo, how did you do this? Yeah.
So bring us to like, all right, so now Pop Lottie, and that's the first how it started between Pop Lottie and Maine.
Well, he had cut Pop Lottie, if I'm not mistaken, like some months before that. Yeah. He had cut him in the face, I think. Yeah.
So then he gets shot 5 times. Then what happens next? Let's go through the steps.
The beef, it was still a little beef with him, of course, but it was another main dude that was from my block. You had 50 and this other dude that was like the thoroughest dudes from my block. And this dude, he was one of those, like, it was no talking to. He was somebody that because he's always been, at the time, he was always a bad kid. Like when we was growing up, his mother always had him in group homes and stuff like that, or throwing him out because it was just something, I don't know, but he was just always, he was bad, So he was one of those dudes that's like, I don't like you, I'm gonna get you, and that was just, So they had these back and forth little shootouts, words. And then I think the guy from my block ended up shooting someone from Jermaine's crew. So that's when it got serious because although they had shootouts after, the 5 times, nobody was really getting hit. So when somebody else in the crew got hit, it's alleged that Jermaine put $15,000 on a dude's head and his own man took the bounty. You know what I mean? Money.
And you don't say dude's name because he's a fish, like, he...
Yeah, I'm just, I mean, he did, but Jermaine put some money on his head and his man took it up and killed him. But what went wrong is like the very next morning, my phone ringing off the hook. I mean, the very next morning, hours that this happened, Jermaine did it. And I'm calling him like, why is it in the street like that? Like, I didn't know that was going to happen or that he even planned that. Because me and my sister would have been like, don't do it. Right. Because he had somebody that loved him. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful and, strategize how, if you're going to do something like that. And then, don't offer it to don't let his own man do it because then eventually that dude, if he'll do it to his man, he'll do it to you. but it was all over the street the next day, and then I seen him and he's walking with the dude that did it. I'm like, you bugging. Like, what's going on? Like, nah, T, I'm all right. Just being Maine. But eventually, the guy I think that guy died in March, and Jermaine was killed that June. Because I heard that somebody that was close to that dude was like, I'm gonna get him. And the night that Jermaine died, we all was supposed to go to a club downtown because we was always going out like on the weekends or something. But something was going on, so we didn't go. So I took my daughter to eat to Amy Roof's, and I got a call that he got shot. Dog called me because I had hooked him and Dog up to do business. And when I got over there, everybody on Fifth Avenue looking crazy. I'm like, what the hell happened? And I heard he died, and that was it.
But yeah.
Honestly, but before that, a situation, I'm gonna talk about what him and Mace that happened too. I want to get into that also.
Yeah, I had got a call from a guy named Trail. Something was going on at Gaucho's gym, and Trail was like, yo, T, you need to come to the gym. Maine over here acting crazy. Because Jermaine had just got out. He was going through a little blood phase. But he was like a one-man blood gang.
Like non-Trey?
Right. Not like non-Trey, because Jermaine was about his business. That little young boy was something different. I didn't take him serious, to be honest with you. So, I get there, he's standing in the middle of the gym floor. Nah, fuck that T, they gonna respect me. He took the little guy's cardan, took his chain. Nah, fuck that. But he didn't take it because he had anything against Cardan. He had something against Mace. And allegedly Mace disrespected him, because I don't know if Mace used to talk to his baby's mother. And after she had Jermaine's baby, he was at the house. It was just something crazy. And I don't know, I think Mace said something. I don't know if at this time the record had already came out that Mace said something on a record, so you throwing shots. And Mace never came to get the chain, though. We ain't seen Mace since.
What do you mean you ain't seen him since?
We ain't seen him since. He left New York or whatever. So, from my understanding, he took Pop Lottie down to Atlanta. Pop Lottie came back. And I guess, I don't know if he threw the battery in these guys back to make it more intense, as far as, that's how that whole thing, this was before Pop even shot Maine the 5 times. Mace had got with these guys, and I guess, I don't know if he paid them or promised them anything, but it seems like he threw the...
Slow down. You're going 100 miles. First of all, there's nothing wrong with a man wanting to be a preacher. There's nothing wrong with a man seeing things, and because I seen him in New York a couple of times. And I heard your interview. You said we ain't seen him since. He's been in Harlem.
No. He came back.
He got video. He got video.
I just saw him like last month.
Yeah. Don't get nervous. Now you're nervous when I took the shit. Yeah. I was waiting for this subject. He said that Mace was running away and all this stuff, and and you feel he put the battery in his back, but this is all alleged. We don't know that.
Yeah, I said allegedly.
You did. You're very good. You're smart. But at the same time, even if if it was true and there was drama, why would he stay to put himself in danger?
I said the same thing. I wrote that in my book. I mean, if you're smart, you'll leave, because that's not your life. You're not a shooter. You're not a gangster. And me and Mace was cool back in the days. I knew his family. I was cool with his sisters, his brother. But if you're going to disrespect a man, take shots at him, and talk crazy on a record about him, then you should be man enough to face
10 toes down.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Face a person, and you know what I'm saying? Don't do it from a distance. No.
So yeah, was cool. You was cool with him. Then what happened?
Oh yeah, we what? I mean,
you used to mess with Mace?
Nah. Mace, he claims that him and my sister used to talk that if you, I mean, that's what he said. But I knew Mace from a youngster.
So you trying to say Mace lied on his penis?
No, I'm not saying that.
You
They
talk to your
they
sister.
definitely didn't mess around, but you know that puppy love, him and my sister, whatever. I don't
Don't
know.
be a hater, Miss T. I
Oh
love
no,
you.
oh no,
Hey, you had
he
your
said
sister.
that.
You talk to your sister, bro.
Yeah, maybe they was talking about. They definitely
like this too.
they definitely didn't mess around. But no, I like Mace. Me and him was cool. Like when Biggie died, me and him had a long conversation on the phone. So we was cool like that. But at the end of the day, Maine was my people. That was my brother. I had to pick a side when all this drama was going on. You know, me and Pop Lottie was cool. Like I loved him. He was funny as hell. But you know,
Loyalty.
yeah. So that's how that all
So
went
then,
down. It's very unfortunate because
It is,
really
it is.
it was about nothing.
You're right.
That whole beef was about nothing.
But you think that, honestly, your personal opinion, and I'm going to ask you this, 'cause, you know, shout out to Cam. I know Cam. Cam is my man. And I'm not going to divulge, you know, but when I heard him talk about the situation, he did talk about it in the program one. Purple Haze 2 is coming out. Stay tuned. He has a new single out. Check it out. But when I heard that he spoke about Pop Lottie and Maine and in Europe, and he said, you know, he ensued to some things. But in your opinion, you feel that Mace was one of the forces behind that beef? Opinion, not fact.
Right.
In your opinion, I'm
Yes.
asking your opinion.
Yes.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I think he put a battery on their back and made it a little more than, yeah, I do.
As a pastor, you felt he did that because he's a pastor at the time.
He is. Right. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Wow.
Because he could have ended it, you feel like, right? He could have put a stopper to all that.
He could have, because it could have just been those two men
Right.
dealing with whatever issue they had. But
I
instead,
see what you're saying.
right,
So
instead.
he was aware that Pop, in your opinion,
Oh, yeah.
he was aware that Pop Lottie had a problem with Maine, so he decided.
Oh, that's a fact. That's not even my opinion. He definitely knew that Pop and Maine had an issue, you know. So yeah, but it could have been two men handling their issue, whichever way they wanted to do it. That beef spiraled out of control, and like I said, like 6 people died
Over nothing.
over nothing.
and how so. But like I said, listen to your interview. You said, you know, we ain't see Mace since.
I mean, I ain't seen. I know he been back because he done did a record. Wasn't it Welcome Back? That came out not too long.
But chill,
Right?
Miss T,
I don't-
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Miss T,
Yeah,
what's
that
wrong
was
with
like
you?
after
Why you said
2000.
that,
Yeah,
Miss
that was
T? You're
about
bugging,
probably
bro.
02 probably.
Right,
Something like
right.
that.
So I know he did that. You know.
T, why you said that like that, man? Yo, my God. Yeah. But he, you know, what made you think he came back when things died down? In your opinion?
Yeah, I even seen him. He seen me. We was like right next to each other, but he ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing. We
Where
was
y'all
in
seen each other at?
North Carolina, NCIAA 2 years ago.
What the hell you doing out there?
NCIAA.
What you doing out there? Who you out there
So
with?
it was, huh?
Who you was out there with? You know what I said? Oh,
Me,
all right.
my daughter, and then some other people.
Who?
So Sugar J got us into some party, and whatever section that he was in, I was already in there. So he came. So I had some shades on. I guess he looked to make sure it was me. So I just looked at him. I didn't say nothing. You know, maybe one day we'll talk. Maybe one day, maybe we won't.
And that's why I think the problem started with Cam, because I'm reading that Cam said then I watch him play Pop Lottie against Baby Maine. At this time, I'm moving heroin in Maryland. They both died, and this nigga turned reverend.
Oh God.
Wow.
Damn. I can't confirm it. I mean, I know Killer, you know, but a lot of people feel this way. I mean, Mace denied it. You know,
I mean, he definitely left New York because of Jermaine. That's not nobody's opinion. That's a fact.
But how do we know
And
that?
it is.
He
And
just chose another life. He chose God.
after he had this beef, I would have chose God too. You know.
No disrespect. You left too. Let's keep it 100. You left too.
No.
You
I
left
didn't
too.
leave.
You went
Oh,
to Atlanta too. But you became a pastor as well.
No.
You left. You went to Atlanta. Yeah, don't get nervous.
Yeah, no. I did
Don't
go
let
to
your-
Atlanta,
don't
but
let
I've
your
been
hands
back.
sweat.
I've been back
That's it.
10 years.
Ooh.
I've been back 10 years. in
You talk spicy to me.
in Harlem. In Harlem.
Mace has been in Harlem as well.
Where?
G, chill, G. Don't
I haven't seen him. I mean, you know, but listen, he living his life. I mean, it is.
Would you have a conversation with him though?
Absolutely.
And would you express to him that you think, because you know, a lot of people do have a problem with that though. But the thing is, this is my issue, and I don't know the situation, but I heard about the Pop Lottie and Baby Mane, but they had an issue prior. So you know, right? They had an issue prior. So how are we blaming Mace if the issue was already in the street between them two? I'm asking you a question.
I would say, like I
Because
said,
a lot of people, and let me just say this: I wasn't there. I'm not saying I was there. I'm not saying who's right or wrong.
right.
It's just questions that I have because they had a problem prior, and then but how can Mace take the blame for that if they had an issue already? With like, how can you explain to me or to the people? Like, how do you blame Mace if these people already had an issue? They already had a street problem between each other. So,
But she's saying that she if I could be wrong, but she said Mace kind of hyped it a little bit.
Right, I think
He
it
made it
was
worse than
more
what
intensified
made it
because
worse.
right, and then you know, like I said, I mean, he had a couple of dollars. You know, what?
I'm listening.
He had a couple of dollars. From my understanding, he took Pop down there with him to Atlanta. I don't know what transpired between that. I don't know what he said to the other guy, who was like, you know, he was just like always on 1,000 with the nonsense. So I just think that, you know, it seems like they was going more hard, especially the other guy, you know, with Maine, because he had absolutely no reason to. It was no reason.
Did they ever get the chain back?
No, I don't know what Maine did with that chain, to be honest with you, but yeah.
How did he take it off Cardan's neck?
How? He just took it. That's it. That's it.
At Gaucho's, you said.
Yeah, Gaucho's
Who's
gym
Cardan,
in the
G?
Bronx.
He's one of Mace artists.
Yeah.
He never really got like that.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't
yeah,
get-
he was
he
a
didn't get
little.
that.
He was a rapper on
He had
the,
a song
the
out?
Harlem World. Yeah, I don't know if he had a song or they had that.
He probably was. I think he was featured on.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He didn't really get that
shine.
look like that. But he was.
Yeah.
People knew Cardan with Mace. Yeah, he always shot him out like that.
What about Baby Stace? You knew her?
Yeah, Stacey and my sister were good friends.
What was going on that day in Gaucho's gym? They had like a party or something. Or
No, they used to always
basketball
have
game?
like basketball games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I played Gaucho's back in the day too. I used to play them.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. Rest in peace to Pop Lottie. And
Yeah.
Maine.
Absolutely.
So now these things happen. I heard that you end up moving. Why did you move to Atlanta?
I moved because, and I moved like 5 years after Jermaine got killed. His death really hit me hard, because I know it came to a point where, the shootouts was getting crazy and he was tired. He was like, I just want to make my money and do me. And after he died, I don't know, Lou heard something. And Lou was like, yo, T, you just need to get out of there. I need you to, go somewhere and chill. You walking around, you still angry. You snapping on people.
You were snapping on people?
Like, if I've seen somebody that was cool with them and then they look like they had a smile on their face, I'm saying something. And they like, yo, you bugging. I ain't laughing about that. So he was like, supposedly somebody said that they was going to do something to me. So, Lou said, you better not touch her hair on her head. But he said, I could say that, but I'm not there. Right. So won't you just go somewhere and just chill? So that's how I got down south. Yeah.
How did you find a house? I mean, how did it happen? Who you moved with?
First I went and stayed with my cousin for about a month. Because I had my cousins was already down there. Because my daughter had already been spending summers down there with her cousin. So I went down there and stayed with my cousin for a month. Then I moved to Loganville, a little townhome apartment. And yeah.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 28.
So you staying down there and then you had to decide to come back.
Yeah, because my daughter went to college and I could make more money up here to support her, so she didn't have to work while she
Stop
was in
being
school.
on the run, basically.
I wasn't really on the run.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm very sure. I was just chilling.
But you out here walking around on some Alpo shit.
I was just
What?
Crazy.
What?
He walking around. What?
Yeah.
He's not. Is he not?
Yeah. Nah.
But you didn't tell. Well, sorry.
I was on my Alpo shit before Alpo.
Mm.
You ain't telling nobody.
No.
Alpo called in the show.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? You looked a little startled, a little bit. Not startled, like scared, but like it caught you off guard. Tell us.
Everybody was like, "Oh, you were scared, you were shy." I really wasn't. I knew he was listening, cause Boogaloo was on the show. So I had heard that he was listening to what Boogaloo was saying. Boogaloo was still in the studio when I was being interviewed.
Mm.
So when he called in,
Which is Gangsta Lou, correct?
yeah. So when he called, I'm looking at Boogaloo, and Boogaloo just shaking his head, I guess confirming that that's him. I mean, I knew it was him, but I was just kind of shocked that he even called the show. But yeah, I wasn't shocked that it was him.
What was Lou's mannerism when he called?
He just was looking at me and just shook his head. He was just sitting in the chair, quiet.
And he basically called not to bother you, but to let Lou
I
know.
think let Lou know that he was listening.
Have you seen Alpo yet?
Yes, I have. He's in Harlem all the time.
Yo, no, stop. Chill, man. Chill.
I mean,
Alpo Harlem?
all the time.
What's his vibe like out there when he's in? Like,
He's chilling.
he's chilling.
He's chilling.
He's good.
Harlem is his home.
You seen him? That went out?
Yeah. I seen him at a spot with some other people, but we didn't go out.
You spoke to him?
Yeah.
Gave him a hug?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, what's up? I mean, listen, I ain't got no problem with him. He ain't do nothing to me. I don't understand what people be talking about. I don't get it.
What do you mean what people be talking about? What they be saying?
Oh, why people mess with him? Why people talk to him? He killed Rich. Okay, Jason killed Al. Niggas get murdered every day, right?
They just try every day, B.
Right.
You be alright. You tough, right?
I mean, I don't get it. I mean, it happens, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Whoever loved Rich and don't want to mess with him, I get it. Whoever don't like snitches, I get it. But like he said, T, I did what I had to do for me. People could do what they want to do for them.
I heard he's running around taking pictures with people that talk about him.
That talked about him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he's checking on. No, he's checking on people. It ain't taking pictures. I think he's checking people who he heard say things, either when he was in jail or whatever.
What do you mean checking them?
Checking their temperature.
Alpo gotta chill, man.
No, I mean, I think no. His thing is this.
He gonna watch this.
No, but you know what? The thing is this. He's not out there starting trouble with nobody or nothing. But again, if you say something about somebody, and a person comes to you, he just wants to know, do we have an issue? Why did you say those things? And I heard a lot of people are backtracking on the things that they said. Like rappers and some other people.
Do you think that, well, you know, Lou had a lot to say up here. Hold up. You made a face, so let me
What?
just.
No, I didn't. Go ahead.
Don't let me, because once I close this down, I'm gonna go in. I don't want to. You know, I'm in a good space with you.
Okay.
So let's put this right back. Lou had things to say.
Okay.
I guess they got some sort of history. Do you think that hopefully it's peace between those brothers, you know, at a time? But do you think Lou is a guy that will sort of backtrack on his words? Knowing him. You know him, right? You know him.
Yeah, I know Boogaloo. I know Albert. Would he backtrack? I don't know, but if he say the things to Albert, Like if he come at him the way he's been on these shows, I'm not sure it's gonna. It might be an issue. I'll say that. I'll say that.
So you trying to say Alpo didn't grow mentally? You don't think?
I think he grew. No, yeah, because he's like, T, I just want to live my life. That's it. But
Rest in peace, his mom. We heard his mom just
yeah,
passed
his mother
away.
and his sister. Yeah, within days. That was kind of like
Sister
yeah.
passed away as well.
His sister died first, and then the mother died days after his sister.
Where did his sister die from?
I think she had cancer.
Okay, rest
Yeah.
in peace to them both.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So he said he just want to live his life.
Yeah, he like to meet him is to understand why his friends that he had from before still deal with him. He's very personable. He's very charismatic. You know, he like to laugh and play all day. Like he's not running around on some gangster. I'm out. Nope. You know You know what was something he said to me? He said, "T, the streets made Alpo. They made him into this person who they wanted him to be. But when I did what I did, they mad." He said they made this person. You know, yeah, my name Alpo, but they made him into this. You know, whatever.
Martyr.
Right.
Does he have any children?
Yes, he has sons.
Who's his son?
I don't know his sons.
There's a guy named Paparazzi Poe.
I'm not sure about that one.
Why? Why are you not sure about that one?
I may have asked him about that.
And what did he say?
He's not sure about that one. He has 2 other sons.
Wait, we ain't gonna play my man Paparazzi Poe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
slow
not
down.
really sure about that one.
Well, no. We need to be sure.
Yeah,
No,
I know 2 other sons,
No, we
not
need to be
3
sure about-
sons.
we need to be sure about paparazzi.
Okay, well maybe I have Albert call you guys and tell y'all if that is or isn't. I don't
People
know.
been requesting, and listen, I'm not, salute. I'm not in nobody's business, but people think that if you read the comments, if you read everything, they've been saying like, "Yo, Flip, would you interview Alpo? Would you interview Alpo?" First of all, I don't think Alpo would do an interview. I think he met up with a blogger before, and he tried to meet up with another blogger. This is me. I don't know anything about him. I have no issue with him, and if he was to do a story, he wanted to talk about the story, I'll listen.
Why
You know what
not?
I'm saying? Why not? But people be like, yo, they keep talking about him, bro. And it's like, I don't know him. I don't got no contact, but they keep asking in the comments, and it's too much.
Yeah.
Cuban Link videos and all these videos. They're like, yo, Alpo, we asked for Alpo. How the fuck? I don't know him. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I see them walking around.
I mean, they're getting these great stories and the great content, so they want to hear. It's kind of like a little teaser, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear everybody's point of view.
Nah, but she need to put respect on Paparazzi Poe name. I don't care.
I think him and Albert have spoken not too long ago, but
They don't look similar to you, no?
Mm-mm.
Wow. Because I know you asking. You don't give a fuck. You ask questions.
Yeah, I do.
And he said he don't know.
Yeah, I know they've spoken recently.
Or you don't want to
But-
really say what he said.
No, but I know who the other 2 sons are.
You know them.
I don't know them personally, but I know.
They outside.
Right, I know. But this guy, I'm not sure.
Did he know this guy's mom?
I'm not really sure about that. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, Paparazzi Poe, yeah. So, what's next for Miss T?
I got another book out called Snitching.
Just like
It came out about a month ago. What's that?
no, I was saying they look just like. It's crazy.
Oh,
She don't think they look alike.
No comment, right?
I
Okay,
mean,
you
it
got
don't matter. I mean, if it's
the books out. You said.
yeah,
smooth, bro.
I got a new book out. But somebody had asked me to do a book on snitches, and upon research, I'm like, listen, I don't know why people concern themselves with snitches. I named the book Snitching. The streets are fair game, but the game has never been fair, and that's a fact. The government will always afford that opportunity. Somebody will always take them up on that opportunity. So why are we mad at snitches? Everybody is not built every hustler's not a gangster and every gangster not a hustler. Like, let's take AZ for instance. When AZ testified against those guys, I don't think he was a snitch. First of all, the girl that was with him was 13. I know her. I knew her sister. We grew up with them. She was 13, body like 25 back then, though. If I was her mother, you would have owed me that. You want to get up there and tell him who shot my daughter. You understand what I'm saying?
Why was the 13-year-old with him?
Maybe I don't know if he knew she was 13 at the time, but her body said something differently. Back then, she was stacked. I don't know. I don't know what he knew.
Oh, AZ, chill out.
I'm just saying. And I knew her, but I wouldn't call him a snitch. He was testifying. The lady Joanne, her mother was from my building. You know what I'm saying? People lost their lives because of whatever the game. Mm-hmm. So I don't, this whole snitching thing and everybody with the snitching and glorifying rats, they killing me. They got to know how to distinguish a witness from me and you doing business together, and I'm going to tell something on you because I don't want to go to jail because I ain't built like that. And that's the thing. People, they build these people up to be something, and everybody is not built like that. They say they are, or they even think they are until that time comes, So it's like, I don't know. So I just wrote a book on snitching and how it goes down in scenarios and, some stuff I know for a fact, that happened, So that's what I did.
And what do you know for a fact that happened?
There was some things like, one guy got picked up for credit card fraud. And instead of going to jail for maybe 6 months or a year, he like, I know about a body from the 90s. Because you don't want to go to jail for a credit card. That's what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, my thing is to get out the street altogether. For those of us who've been in the game and been in these streets for like 2-3 decades, we should know better. Mm-hmm. So don't get surprised. Don't be surprised when somebody gets caught and they tell. Yeah, it's surprising, but why are you surprised? Because it's been going on. Why still be in the street and allow another man to disrupt your household? I don't get it. So yeah, that's what that is.
So you got a book, Snitching.
Snitching. I got some other stuff going on. Probably 2020, we'll start. Me and my partner, Eve Rivera, we got some stuff going on. So, yeah.
The director?
Uh-huh. Yeah. We got a project coming up.
Is there anything you want to share with Flip the Script that you haven't shared with anybody yet?
Not that I know of, but you look like you thinking of something.
I don't know. Is there anything you want to share with us that you haven't talked about?
Not that I know of. Can't really think of nothing.
Of course you can't.
I wish I did.
Of course. When the pressure's on, they can't think.
I wish I did.
That's what I do. I tend to, cause mental confusion. She's funny.
Yeah. So, if you can go back, would you change anything that you did? Growing up, we heard the whole story now. How you had, a good household, you were a good kid, and you went to that lifestyle. Would you change anything that you did?
I wish I would have stayed in school. I'd have been a nurse about 30 years now. Retiring, because I like nursing. I like dealing with people, but God is the best planner. It is what it is.
You're still here now,
Absolutely.
Still living, healthy.
Yeah.
Looking nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
That's good. That's good stuff, man. How you feel?
I feel good. Just let me see your hands. Put your hands out there. Both of them. Okay. Just making sure.
Making sure what?
Just confirming something. Just mental notes for future interviews.
Oh. Okay.
I like the interview, man. Yo, Miss T, man. I think that it's unfortunate that you had to go through that in the beginning. But it's a blessing as well because you are who you are today.
Right.
You're sharing your story. You got niggas coming out, calling you to the shows and stuff. And, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I mean, I did a lot of research.
Okay.
And, I did a lot of research and studying G Money myself. We did We just wanted to have it right, man. We wanted to be different from, and I told you that on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do what everybody else is doing. You know what I'm saying? You almost got hit by a car. I ain't hear that. I hit by a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? You got punched in the face. You got punched in the face in the lobby. I ain't hear about that and shit like that. So I'm just excited. And I thank you for coming up, man.
Thank you.
Give out your social media and also your YouTube.
Oh, yeah. My YouTube page is Straight Talk with Miss T. Got some stories up there. My Instagram, Harlem_Heron or Heroin. It has a, double meaning. And you can pick up my books on Amazon. Harlem Heron and Snitching by Miss T.
What's up with Boy George?
Boy George is doing good. I talked to
here?
him. We trying to we're trying to do something to get him out of there, because my thing is life for drugs. I don't understand that you get life for drugs but murderers get out every day. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we got somebody looking into his case that may be able to help him. He's been down 30 years, but he's cool. My partner went to visit him about 2 months ago.
Your partner,
said he looking good. E. Rivera.
E. Rivera's your partner?
He went to, yeah.
Is that like your boyfriend partner?
No. We have the life rights. George signed his stuff over to me and Eve, and we're partnering on doing his story.
Who?
Eve Rivera.
No, I know who Eve Rivera is, but you talking about Boy George.
Boy George, yeah, he signed it over. Mm-hmm.
Just making sure. I just want to clear everything up.
Yeah, business
She's
partner,
got
business
any
partner.
new boyfriends?
Nah, stop it. Just come on, man.
Business partner. So yeah, he's doing good.
Well, G, man.
Yeah. Classic, man. This is good. She laughing. You're a funny guy sometimes.
Any last words?
No, I just want to shout out to everybody for buying my book, for the YouTube documentary. I got like over 1 million views in like 6 months, so that's
Shout
dope.
out, yeah, that was dope.
Yeah,
that was dope.
and his numbers are still going up, so I appreciate that, and people appreciate the story. My thing is I'm gonna give the good, the bad, the ugly. The comments be crazy, but I was expecting that. But at the end of the day, I'm good.
Why you waited for us to hit you up? I told you about that on the phone. People were in your comments like flip the script, but you.
I know one guy, and I'm gonna find his name, hit me up last week and said, you need to go on that show because they mentioned your name. So I looked at the whole Bootsy interview because he's from Harlem, but I didn't hear anything, so I didn't know what he was talking. So I told my assistant, shout out to Melissa.
Shout out to Mel.
Yeah, and
I'm just trying to be down.
shout out to Melissa, my assistant, Miss BX. She hit Marco up, and that's how it happened.
Nice.
But I didn't know until some guy DM'd me and was like, "You need to hit them up."
Cause this one guy kept writing. I'm like, yo, listen, man.
Really?
Stop asking us about Miss T, man. If Miss T wanted to do the show, she would have did the show. That's what I felt. It was,
See, because I don't be reaching out,
Of course, you fly.
No, I just don't.
Harlem shit.
I don't be reaching out, but I'm glad I did. I had a good time.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Did you enjoy
Yes,
yourself? Yeah.
yes.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Round of applause one time for Miss T in the building. See something else? I don't know. We here, man. Put the script pod on Instagram, man, at DJ G10156, at Queens Flip on Instagram. Each and every Friday, Fishbowl Fridays. Make sure y'all come out, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow night we in the building. Well, depending on when you're watching this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the fans, all the supporters, man. Flip the Script podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, first of all, let's shout out Nazis and Ebach.
Yes. Round of applause and Nazis Ebach one time, man. Working hard.
Behind the scenes, they're doing good. I give Nazis a hard time. I'm trying to fire her, but it's hard.
How'd she do today? She was all right? Nazis was
Yeah,
good?
she was cool. Don't fire her.
Oh, shit.
What you doing?
I want to fire her so bad, bro. Oh. But she was good. She was, she's good.
Yes, and she was very pleasant over the phone.
Wow. Damn.
Yes.
You can't get it, man. Can't get a break, bro. I don't know.
Go on, G. Where the horns at?
With a horn?
What's the horns? You got horns on there? That means I'm gonna fire her, bro.
Nah, come on.
Yo, this is Queen Flip, man. Yo, we want to thank everybody for supporting the podcast. Flip the Script, man. the fact that we're doing what we're doing, man. We just want to thank everybody and encourage everybody that you can also do what we do, man. I'm the platform is. I'm not here to tell everybody's story. I'm just here to give them a platform to tell their stories. But I want you to subscribe and support. You know what I mean? Support Miss T. Go to her YouTube. I went there. She was talking some crazy stuff in the car. I was laughing. And support them, man. And go follow her, man. But
For sure.
We here. Lock your doors. Close your windows. Close your blinds. Wait, hold on real quick before we finish that. Shout out to George, man. George Monterano, real quick, because he just the way he answered questions was good, man.
Real slick guy.
A lot of people gonna get mad. People were mad in the comments, real quick. And I know you was getting hyped to do our exit, but I saw when I put the picture of him. They were like, "Yo," because we was hugging him. Yo, you don't hug nobody else on the platform.
Well, yeah, he
hugged us.
Yeah, he said he be bringing it in, and we can't tell him no. We're not gonna,
They said it's a race thing. It said, it's a lot of comments over 200. Like we sucking and jiving.
Wow.
You hugged me.
I didn't hug you.
You didn't hug me. Okay.
And let's she don't know about that. Nah. Queen Flip. I'm just saying, when you watch a George interview, man, shout out to George Monterano. His father was Raymond Longfoot Monterano, who was in the Italian mob, and this guy did so many years. And you have to watch his interviews. I'm just talking about the people out here that are upset. You cannot get mad at the messenger. We provide a platform for people, and there's no checking in. And I want to say this because I'm going to put this out. I'm going to put one clip out of this, then I'm going to put this out in its entirety. And I want you to understand there's no checking in. We don't check in. I'm not checking in with nobody. I don't have to check in or call anybody. And if you're looking for the lesser of, if somebody looking for somebody to pick on, I welcome it. I do. I can't speak for everybody else. G-Money and I co-sign them. We get a lot of calls when people are upset and, why are they guys putting these people on the platform? But when your man was on our platform, you didn't feel the same way. Everybody on this platform had a negative annotation attached to them. But if I listened, nobody would be on the platform. That's not what we're here to do. And nobody's going to tell us how to do our business. I'm sorry. And that's with all due respect. So if you have a problem with somebody saying, you contact them.
Right.
And it happened before. Same thing with the Harlem, with the Bootsy situation. That happened too. Shout out to my man Cam. Cam called me. And the guys end up supporting. They were supporters, and I understand. But I told them, you can't. Cam, and shout out to Cam. Cam held it down. He come here in December. Cam said, you can get mad at Queen Flip. You held me down. Same thing I'm saying. The niggas in Brownsville, salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I saw one of y'all in Queens, and we was talking. I don't let nobody tell their story. I wasn't there. Were we there?
Never.
And I have to state this, and I'm sorry for holding up the outro, but I just have to state this.
It needed to be said.
We're not there. How the hell I'm letting him tell us? I don't know what these niggas gonna say.
We're asking the questions. That's all. We're trying to figure out what happened during those times. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s and 90s when we were young boys running around. We were young. We were around, but we weren't involved. We weren't there. So we want to know the story.
I was born in 87.
86.
Exactly.
What?
Huh?
You was born when?
Oh, what you mean?
Excuse me.
Hold on.
You looking like that? I was born in 87. Yeah.
Really?
86. You know what I'm saying? 80s babies.
Listen. Slow down. I'm known to go in the jungle and wrestle with not lions, not tigers, not panthers.
Oh my.
But starts with a C. But joking. But all joke aside.
I caught it late.
Yeah, of course you did. She been caught it. I'm telling you, she's official, bro.
She didn't catch it.
She did. You caught that terminology, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she been. You can tell. Mm. But I just definitely want to say, we got to say that, G.
Yeah,
niggas is mad. They calling people, oh, yo, these niggas is wilding. So you want us to call, first of all, who can we call to find out about these niggas?
Yeah.
It's 3 people that I speak to. Soul B, OG, Nuke, and Killer Cav. That's who I speak to. Mm. If it's anybody from Harlem, I'm calling Cam. That's me. I'm going to call Cam. Can you tell me about this person? those are my people that I check in with. Anybody you have an issue with, you deal with them. And that's how you could close out. I mean, you could say the final word before I do the outro if you have anything to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, just even like when Miss T on the show, like she spoke about what she had to speak about, certain things, certain names she didn't want to say, and she didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's here pressuring the guests to that extent to make them say it. It's not like it's like a mandatory thing. You got to say everyone's name or everyone's block they was on or building they was in. You know, like you speak what you speak, and everyone that comes on the show is pretty much grown people. You know what I'm saying? So don't come up here and get on the platform if you can't speak about what you want to speak about. You know what I'm saying? Like we this is our platform, and you know when you're here, the cameras are on, lights are on, man. So, you know, salute to all our guests and supporters, man. But just know that we are only here to ask the questions that the fans want to know and the supporters want to know, and the stories to get the history. You know what I'm saying?
Amen. So lock your doors, close your windows, close your blinds, open your blinds, open your door. And if you see a lady like Miss T on your lawn, you don't need a firearm. Let her in with open arms. I'm from Queens. Bang!